there are some fun situations, and let's try and identify who they are, basis that. There are some placards around, I think, floating around, but that's okay. I think you can also raise hands and say, who do you identify as these generations? The three generations are Gen X, Gen Z, and millennials, right? Gen Z, of course, the newest of the lot, right? Millennials like me are somewhere sandwiched in between, okay? But quite honestly, if you ask me, I identify more as a Gen X for whatever reason. Still come into forums like this with my lunchbox at hand, trying to eat healthy. Not that it helps, but that's how it is, right? And Gen X, I still remember that time when I think being Gen X was supposed to be very cool. Anyone else here can identify with that? Hey, Gen X was supposed to be like so cool, right? I mean, you are the newest in the lot, so on and so forth. I don't know where that time flew, right? Anyone else in this room who can identify with that? Yeah, some smiles, but yeah, maybe yes, maybe no. Let's see. But what's really, how well do we really understand our employees? So go ahead, next, the first question up there on the screen, please. If you could maybe just say, what is it, Gen X, millennials, or Gen Z, right? Gen X are somewhere, I think, the population who were born up to 81. Millennials are essentially the set of people after 81 to maybe 2007, right? 2007 onwards are essentially the set of people who are just about entering the population, who are the Gen Zs, right? Yeah, the newest kids on the lot, right? Okay, so what we'll do is, okay, the first one. Go back to the instructions once, please. Different scenarios, answer which generation the employee belongs to. And then, of course, if your answer is that is me, everyone else around has to guess, what generation are we talking about. Okay, first one, go ahead. This is fun. Okay, this happens so much on calls, right? Am I on mute? Can you hear me? I heard one answer, go ahead. Yeah, yeah, Airtel already is struggling with trying to work with this. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think the whole of 2019 was spent doing that, right? Am I audible? Can you hear me? So brilliant, thank you, thank you. Next question, please. Yeah, the emoji explosion. Morning, sunshine, just finished the report, let me know your thoughts. I don't even know what the rocket is supposed to do, Yeah, anyone? Gen Z or the sandwich generation in between? Yeah. Let's see what is the right answer. Gen Z. Yeah. So, I'm confused. I tend to use emojis a lot. Anyone else? Yeah. Wow.
So, Gen Zs just know the shortcut and it's easy for them. For me, I'm a millennial. I don't like that. I just straight to the point and be done with it. Yeah.
There's in fact a lot of confusion, right? I don't know. I'm a millennial too, but I tend to use a lot of those emojis as well. I like it. Sometimes it's kind of a good space icebreaker. If you don't know what to say, I think just put in an emoji out there. you know. Yeah. Yeah. What the F is the rocket supposed to indicate in any case? You know. Anyone has any guesses? Anyways, go ahead. Next question, please. Approval process. First, let's get this approved by the manager, then the senior manager, and finally the VP. Come on, we are not that boring. Yeah? Gen X has to be. Yeah. So this is. Sorry? Yeah. Yeah. There's one before that as well. No one's even talking about it. Right. Gen X. Hybrid is life. I love those memes on the side, by the way. I'll come to the office tomorrow, but today is a work from home day for balance. Yeah. My goodness, that's both Gen Z as well as me. My goodness, I just learned to pronounce meme likes yesterday, and I finally got it right. Memes, right? That's what it's called. Memes, memes. Goodness. Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here today. Go ahead. let's use AI for this and that. We could use ChatGPT to streamline this process. Okay. Um, everyone, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Akshay is using a lot of Gen Zs, sort of lot of AI. So mails coming from his side is essentially, typed with that. But mostly Gen Z. Apna research says so. Go ahead. We have two more coming up. Let's make a WhatsApp group for that. Uh, I think there is very good uniformity with that. I design a lot of learning programs for my clients, and one day inspiration struck me on a very early morning flight to Bombay, and I remember spending 2 hours creating a learning program which was titled Managing for the Millennial Manager, okay? Or rather the WhatsApp manager. I mean, we find it so easy to create groups and just get things done on WhatsApp, right? Um, how many million? Yeah, work is so much easier. I mean, Slack has come, so many other things have come. I don't even open that. It's mostly WhatsApp, and let's create another group for it. Um, I think another trait for Gen Z would essentially be, or millennials would essentially be never exiting a WhatsApp group. I mean, let it just stay there. I think I will have WhatsApp group starting from 2012. You know, right? So that's millennials. Okay, this is the second last one. Forget emails. Let's fix this with a quick phone call, right? X. X, my guess was X, yeah. Um, right, phone would essentially be a WhatsApp call for millennials as well, I guess. Work-life balance is key. After 7 p.m., no work. Personal time is non-negotiable. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and it's actually, this actually was a SHRM research as well, where I think work ethic and so on and so forth was identified as being a challenge for Gen Z. But I think it's also perhaps the researchers who were doing there were millennials like me, right? So probably let's get hold of the culprits was the whole agenda. Um, right, so this is chai pe charcha. Let's take a chai break. Everything gets sorted over chai, right? Who do you think? Yeah, great. So I think this response tells me that I have taught what I was here to teach. Everyone's very confused, but everyone's also right, because the next slide basically says that this is across all generations, right? Uh, sorry? Chai unifies Indians across the world. Chai latte, by the way, doesn't unify anybody. Everyone hates that. So that's not a flavor to sort of get into at all. But chai, of course, I don't know why it is not so popular elsewhere. But anyways, I think that's the peculiarities that we've grown up with. All right, so let's get into the next section. Broadly, why are we here? I mean, one, of course, it is interesting to kind of think that there are now 5 generations that we work together. But then it's also a reality that people across generations look for very different things from work life, right? Now I'll invite Prashant to sort of, take up, and we'll sort of tango together to be able to, take this conversation forward. But would love to hear from each one of you about what your organizations are essentially doing to be able to deal with working with all the different generations, particularly the Gen Z, right? The newest entrants coming in, right? Of course, the newest innovations are also coming in from this generation. How do we sort of make them much more productive? How do we get them to do and contribute their best? And at the same point in time, of course, make sure that they're well integrated into the organization. So Prashant, take it up from here. Apologies.
Hi, this is Abhijit. I lead the early career business for Apna. And we'd want to, now open up the conversation. So the first question that we really want to, get your thoughts upon is that what do you, how do you build the Z appeal? Because when you go to these campuses, when these college kids join you, how are you able to really bridge and connect with these young child on the block? So maybe we'll start with, Kushendra, if you can start.
Hi everyone, my name is Kushendra. The name is too complicated even for my wife, so just call me Kush. I think it's easier that way. I think before I start that, I think one thing which we speak about Gen Z is that they are the ones who work hard, party harder, and then still want free Wi-Fi wherever they go. I think in Coca-Cola, I think the 41% of our uh, employees are less than 5 years old. Uh, and in terms of our Gen Z population, we are close to 27% right now, which is substantial. Uh, and the way we kind of adopt is basically the philosophy is that we are not in a arena where the organization chooses the candidate. It's the candidate also chooses the organization, right? So the idea is to basically involve them not just with the pre-hiring or a post-hiring activity. It's just to build an employer brand where you speak the language of what they understand, right? And how will you motivate them so that they also choose us as their preferred place to work for. We go to the campuses, and I'll give one example which is very fresh to my mind. We went to one of the colleges and we organized a Coke studio night for them. I'll not name who went there, but it was an interesting event where the entire college came for that event. They got like free Coke bottles, which is of course in college where whatever is free you kind of generally grab it, but it's more to do with the understanding about what the organization is all about, what the ethos is all about. Is it always about the fun? What is it that you guys do on the ground? And then helping them enhance their activity and then building like a very subtle case study in terms of